with all of you guys to share the flavors of India. So to start with, we are going to first, since we are short of time and Indian cuisine does take time, we decided we both came upon recipes which are very quick, easy, and fast, and which if you call your friends over for dinner for entertaining purposes, you can make those dishes for entertainment. Or if you just want to come back, you guys are all doctors, you guys have a heavy duty schedule, you guys come back home tired. Oh, I want to have something special, but I don't have the time or energy to cook. You can make these food in a jiffy. So here we go. To start with, Anand is going to start with the chicken tikka, and I hereby ask Anand to take over from me.
Yeah, thanks, Ritu. So we will be starting with the chicken Malai tikka today. And if everybody is ready, I can start right away. So we will start with the sour cream. So we'll take around 2/3 of a cup of sour cream here. To this, we will be adding our heavy, like 35% cream to it. And that will be 1/2 cup. And to this, we will be adding a little bit of a garlic paste. Just a teaspoon would be enough. So just a bit of a garlic. You can use crushed garlic or garlic paste, whatever you have it handy. So no hard and fast rules as such. And then we'll be adding a bit of salt to it. Salt is, I'm just adding a teaspoon, but you can adjust the quantity according to your taste. And same goes for the chili powder. So chili powder is again up to your preference. I'm using like a teaspoon here. So you can increase or decrease the quantity according to your taste. And chili powders are different kinds. I'm using the regular chili powder. Then we have the Kashmiri chili powder, which is more of a color and less of the spice or the hotness in it. Or you can use paprika, smoked paprika instead as well. And now we are going to mix all these things together. And for this, you have to keep your oven ready at 400 degrees so that it is well preheated. So with this dish, since we are doing it right away and we have to show you the final product as well. So I won't be keeping it in the marinade for a long time, but the ideal thing is to marinate it like for at least 4 or 5 hours or overnight if you can, so that all the chicken absorbs all the flavors and everything nicely. And then just pop it in the oven and you're done. But if you make it like right away also, it tastes pretty good. So here we can do a little taste test. So if you want something to be added, you can do it. Perfect. So this, it's nicely mixed, and I'm going to add a few green bell peppers, a few red peppers, and some onions. And again, you can just choose any number, whatever.
Just say how much are they adding? Just reiterate how much are you adding of the bell pepper and the onion and the
I've added like half of each. Half of the onion, half of the red bell pepper, and half of the green bell pepper. And these are 2 chicken breasts. I have cut in cubes. Everything is cut in cubes. And actually you can also add some other vegetable, and you can add broccoli and cauliflower to it as well. It tastes really good. Then we'll add
Now, this particular dish, the chicken tikka malai, is from the northern side of India, from northern India.
Yeah.
And this is, you guys are very familiar with the more fiery chicken tikka that you get in restaurants. But this is more of the milder version of the chicken tikka, which has its own flavor and has a unique flavor and goes very well with your parathas or rice.
Yes, and this is very mildly spiced, but it has the creaminess and the sweetness of the cream and the sour cream and the onions. And this can be eaten with the naan or rice or roti or whatever, and so any bread basically, or you can use it as an appetizer as well. So it goes really well with as an appetizer too. So yeah, so this thing is basically, that's it. We are done with the marination. We'll just keep it for some time and then pop it in the oven. But if you guys want, you can just leave it like this, cover it and put it in the fridge overnight and pop it in the oven tomorrow at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. So this is how it looks. I don't want to.
Okay, so that was our chicken tikka malai. So now, what I'm going to show you guys is a very unique dish from the state of Bengal where I come from. It is called the baked mustard fish, or in Bangla that we call shorshe bata mach. Shorshe, mustard, is a quintessential ingredient in our Bengali cuisine. So this particular dish is very, very popular in Bengal. And the best part about this dish is it is as much as a very, a celebratory dish, it can also be eaten in a day-to-day, your busy schedule. And another good thing about this dish is that you can make it vegetarian and you can make it vegan, or you can make it with fish. Any kind of fish would do. Like, we usually in Bengal, we use the fish called hilsa, which is a quintessential sweet water fish, which has a lot of flavors and a lot of bones, but it is very, very, popular fish over there. But today I have used basa. Now, basa is my favorite fish, favorite, especially for people who do not like fish too much, who gets put off by fish taste or fish smell. Basa is a fish to go to. So a dish. So over here we have 2 fillets of basa, which I have cut it into cubes like this. Like, it is not really bite piece, but it is like a squarish kind of fish that you guys can see. The next ingredients that we have, I'm going to show you the ingredient list, and then I'm going to go on with it. The ingredients that we need for this dish is turmeric, and turmeric is, again, as you know, kills all the bacteria. I put turmeric in everything, even my continental or American or Italian dish. A pinch of turmeric does great. Paprika or Kashmiri red chili powder. Over here, I've used Kashmiri red chili powder because it's a milder version of the chili powder. Usually the chili powder that we use in India are very, very hot. And we're not really used to that much of heat. So Kashmiri red chili powder gives the color and gives a little bit of that heat, as well as not overpowering. Then mustard. Here you must have noticed on the recipe that I have used 2 kinds of mustard. One is the black mustard seed that we generally regularly get on any of the grocery stores. And the second one is the yellow one, or the white mustard. And I'll tell you why. Black mustard tends to be more pungent. It has a more powerful, pungent flavor and tends to become a little bitter in taste when you grind them or when you eat them. So the yellow mustard balances that. And hence, I have 1 tablespoon of the black mustard and 1 tablespoon of the yellow mustard. Then another interesting ingredient is the poppy seed. And in the poppy seed, what it does to the dish is it brings in the creaminess to the dish, and also enhances and gives a little bit of that nutty flavor to the dish, which really enhances the dish. And we have desiccated unsweetened coconut, salt, yogurt, some green chilies, 1 small onion sliced, and cilantro to garnish at the end. Now, let's start. The first what we do is that we marinate, 2 minutes, 5 minutes while I'm preparing the paste of the mustard. I will marinate this with 1/4 teaspoon of the turmeric and 1/4 teaspoon of the Kashmiri red chili powder and 1/4 teaspoon, according to your case, a little bit of salt over the fish. And we are going to now massage the fish with all the turmeric and chili. If you guys have any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. There. I'll quickly wash my hands. I'll be right. Now, in the recipe, I did say that we soak the mustard seeds and the poppy seed. And that's what I have done. I have taken 1 tablespoon each of the yellow mustard and the black mustard, and 1 teaspoon of the poppy seed. And I have soaked it for half an hour in hot water. And this why I do this is because, especially with mustard, if you're grinding them, raw, it becomes very bitter. Therefore, soaking them for half an hour in hot water will make them, you don't have to grind them for a long time to make them like a paste, make it into a fine paste. So let me take out my grinder.
Chandini, I have a question. So is this all a dry spice rub?
No, it's not a dry spice rub, Bhuma. It is like, as I said, that, we had that black mustard and yellow mustard and the poppy seed that you can see.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So I have taken 1 tablespoon each of the black and the yellow mustard.
Okay.
1 teaspoon of the poppy seed.
Yeah.
And I have soaked it in hot water, a little bit, a quarter cup of hot water for about 20 minutes to half an hour. So that it becomes softer, when we, as you know, Bhuma, when we make our dals, we soak it overnight sometimes, like the rajma and all, so that it gets cooked faster.
Okay.
So for this also, you have, if we soak it beforehand for about half an hour, and you don't have to grind it for a longer time for it to become bitter. So, so you just have to grind it for a little bit, and it kind of becomes into a smooth paste without making it bitter.
Perfect. Thank you.
Did I answer that? Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Okay. So now I have my grinder over here.
So I have another question. If you're not a big fish fan, could you use the same recipe and substitute in chicken? Like, would it work well? Or
yes, you can use chicken. You can use vegetables like cauliflower. But the basic paste recipe will be the same, but the ingredients you can completely change it. You can make it with cauliflower. You can make it with potatoes. You can make it with paneer. You can make it with chicken. Anything. You can make with people who are like seafood. They can make it with lobsters. Anything.
okay.
Now we put this. Hands are much better than the spoons. Yeah. So to this paste, we're going to add a tablespoon of yogurt. And a tablespoon of the coconut, grated coconut. Now, in this case, you can use fresh coconut, or you can use the dried desiccated coconut, but unsweetened coconut that you get in any grocery store. To this, I'm going to add 1 green chili. Now, it is completely entirely up to you to use 1 or 2 green chilies to it, depending on the spice level that you like. And I'm going to grind it now. Mind the noise, because it's going to be a little noisy. And I forgot one thing. Is salt to it. It's always better to use salt while you're grinding the mustard. So you can see pork in the bowl, and you will be able to see how the paste looks. I'm sorry I'm using my hands because that's the best way to cook Indian food, with your hands. Okay. As you can see, this is the consistency of the paste that you have right now. Now to this paste, I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, a 1/4 teaspoon of the red chili powder or the Kashmiri chili powder, a little bit more of the salt, and I'll be using about a 1/4 cup of coconut milk, because since I'm going to be baking this in the oven, that's why I use the coconut milk, so that the fish does not dry out. So it kind of gives a little gravy to the dish. There you go. We'll mix this well. And to this, now we are going to add our mustard oil. Not that much, I just took that much to show so that you all can see how mustard oil looks. But I'm going to put about 3 or 4 tablespoons of mustard oil in the paste. So most of a Bengali cooking is done in mustard oil. It has its own flavor, but it has the flavor itself is kind of an ingredient to a dish. But if you don't have mustard oil, olive oil, canola oil, or any other oil would be just perfect. So here goes the mustard oil. I like my fish to be more mustardy kind of a thing, so I like putting in a little more oil than usual. There you go. Yeah, we mix it. Nice. So you can see at our this consistency is, and I can really get the smell of the mustard. It is kind of like this. Now we take a baking dish, and as Karan had suggested that we have an oven on at 400. I have my oven on at 400 already. So now we are going to layer this baking dish. First, I take a little bit of the base. About, I'm going to be using the whole thing for this whole dish. So yeah, but I like to layer first. I make the first layer like this. And then I take my marinated fish that I had. And this is enough time to marinate the fish for this dish. See, we just layer it in our baking dish. Any questions, you all can always ask me. And as you all know, we at Spice Symphony, we have our regular carry-out events. We actually specialize in Indian regional cuisine. Every Mondays and Fridays, we have our carry-outs. You can go to our website and see our menus, but for now, we are closed because of the lockdown, but we will be opening up soon. So here, I have layered the fish, and now I am going to put the rest of the paste over it.
Mustard seeds, she took like 1 tablespoon of each.
Yeah. There you go, like this. After this, we take whole green chilies, and I will split it because my boys don't like too spicy food. So, but if you want spicy, you can split it and you can add it. I just put it whole, and whoever likes more spice to it, they can just take it and eat it with their rice. Here it goes. I just put it over it like this. I think you guys can see it. Yeah. Put another. It gives a nice show to it. Now I'm not going to cover it because I have. I'm just going to put it at 400 degrees inside the oven for 20 minutes, and our mustard fish will be done.
And so somebody is asking how many servings are we making for each recipe?
Right now, I took 2 fillets of the fish, 2 fillets of basa fillet that I got from Costco, so each fillet got me 3 small pieces, and depending on the appetite of the person, how much he or she can eat. I mean, this can be for 1 person or 2 person or 3 person, depending on the people, completely depends on. But I think this can be eaten by 2 people. Very with mustard, with basmati rice. What was salmon marinated first? The salmon was marinated first with turmeric, with a 1/4 spoon of turmeric and a 1/4 spoon of Kashmiri red chili powder or paprika, and a little bit of salt.
Those who are baking their chicken right now, they can put it along with the fish if you want, because it's the same temperature, same time. So everything will be done at the same time. Or if you want, you can just leave it overnight and bake it tomorrow. But I'm putting it right now so that we can show you the end product.
Now we'll go back to Karan with our third and final dish called the Karhai paneer. Now, the Karhai paneer is a very popular North Indian dish. And again, the Karhai paneer has different recipes to it. So this is our Spice Symphony recipe that we usually make. Off to you, Karan.
So for the Karhai paneer, we do have quite a bit of ingredients for this one. So we'll start with the whole coriander seeds and dry red chilies. These again are the Kashmiri dry red chilies. So this will have more of color and not heat as much. But again, you can just take these. I've taken 3 because I'm not making a full block. I'm just making half a block of paneer. So just 3, 4 will do the purpose. And if you want more color and a little bit of heat in it, you can increase the number of chilies here. And so we will be dry roasting these first. So I've heated up a pan on a very low heat here, and I'll put both the spices in here and just dry roast them. It's just we are dry roasting these to take out the natural oils from these spices, but it doesn't need to be adding color to it or anything of that sort.
Kanan,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, folks. I got so carried away with the cooking class that I forgot to put the little bit of onion that I was supposed to put on the mustard paste together. So my apologies, but it's not too late. So I'm just going to be mixing the shredded onion that I showed you, and I'm just going to mix it again and put the fish back in the oven. Sorry about that. But again, onion is optional. Off to you, Kanan.
So yeah, so we will be dry roasting these on a low heat for maybe a minute or so, just to take out the natural oils out of them. And we don't need to intend to cook these or anything of that sort, or too much of roasting is not needed as well, because we will be cooking them with the other things here. So, and then there are some. So once this is done, we'll take it out in a bowl or a plate so that it cools down completely before we grind it to a coarse powder. So it has to be coarse. You don't need to do a fine powder. So you can use a coffee grinder like this or any dry grinder. Just pulse it for a few seconds and it should be ready for you. So this is done, and then I'll take it out in a bowl so that it cools down. Now in the same pan, for this we will need chopped tomatoes, lots of garlic. Well, some people put ginger, some don't. I like ginger, so I'll put a little bit of teaspoon of ginger as well in it. And then of course the same cubed onion, red bell pepper and green bell pepper.
I don't want to those.
Sorry?
How can we get the chats one? No, there are...
And this and of course we need the paneer for it. And then we'll also need turmeric, red chili powder, and it's again up to you. You can use paprika if you have. And we'll need little bit of whole cumin seed.
Kanan, someone is asking how much of the coriander seed that you added over there.
It's 2 tablespoons. It's 2 tablespoons for the whole block of paneer, which is around 350 grams of paneer.
Now, this paneer dish, Karhai paneer, exactly the same way you can make it with chicken. But for the chicken, you have to stir fry the chicken.
Yeah, you have to cut the chicken you have to cut the chicken in cubes, like bite-sized pieces, and before putting anything else in the pan, like dry roast the coriander and red chilies, and then you have to cook the chicken first, and then the rest of the recipe is the same. So now, while the coriander and green chili and the red chilies are getting cool, so I'll add a couple of 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil in a pan. And when it heats up a bit, I'll add, the first thing that goes is just a teaspoon of cumin seeds, whole cumin seeds. Let these crackle a bit.
If you guys have any questions, you all can text or you all can
You
ask.
can ask anytime. Yeah, these are crackling. I can hear the sound and the aroma of the cumin seeds. And to this, the first thing we add is lots of garlic. I said like 8 to 10 cloves of garlic. So I'm putting, this is chopped garlic. So I'm putting like 2 to 3 huge tablespoons of garlic. We have to lightly brown it, not too much, on a medium heat. And to this, I'll add a little bit, just a teaspoon of ginger, since I like ginger, but it's totally optional. If you want, you can add to it, but you can easily skip it. You have to brown these just so that it gets a light color.
Hello, can I ask you how you chop fresh ginger? Sorry, this is Kathy.
Yeah, hi Kathy. Yeah, you can just put it in a chopper. Just cut it in big pieces and put it in a chopper, and you can just churn it for a bit. I did it with hand with just knife. And
Peel the outside off? Do you peel it somehow?
yes, you peel it. The easiest way is to peel it with a spoon. You just hold up. Let me show you.
Yes, you can also grate your ginger. You can grate your ginger. You can
Oh,
put it in a chopper, mini
you
chopper,
can grate
blender,
it.
anywhere.
So basically, you just take the ginger root and then you take a spoon like this.
Yeah.
And if you go like this, the peel will come off very easily.
Oh.
See,
Or you can use a peeler.
or you can use a peeler, but this one works also really fast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So
How do you tell whether when you go to buy the ginger, whether it's any good?
Well, if you go to the grocery store and you see fresh ginger, in most cases, it shouldn't be too dry looking.
yeah.
Sometimes you see very dry looking. Those are not good quality ginger. But the ginger should be nice and fleshy.
Okay.
Fresh, nice and fleshy.
I'm adding the chopped tomatoes here. So you can chop the tomatoes in a chopper, or you can even blend those. Just put it in a blender and then churn it all. And I've taken 3 Roma tomatoes for 1 block of paneer. And now we have to this, we will add our dry spices, which is a teaspoon, like half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. And actually in this one, I'll put, since we all like hot food, so I'll add just a pinch of like 1/4 teaspoon of the red chili powder. But if you want to skip it, you can easily skip it because we are adding the red chilies. We are grinding those and put those in as well. And salt, around a teaspoon of salt. But in this one, there is no hard and fast rule as such. You can just change the amount according to your taste. So once this is done, we'll do especially with the salt, just do a taste test. And if you think it needs more salt, go ahead, add more. And same goes for the chilies. So you start with, I would suggest start with a lesser amount so that you can easily add those later if needed. So with this one here, now I'll just cover it and let it cook. So by covering it, the tomatoes will cook faster, and we have to just wait for them to be nice and mushy and soft. Yeah, grated ginger is fine too. Whatever is the easiest way you can find, grated, chopped, pure, like paste. Paste will do as well. So
there's one person asking, I think Karen is asking, how much cumin did you put?
1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of cumin.
Kanan, I have a question about the ginger as well. So I always keep the peel on for vitamin C and for fiber, but from a culinary point of view, is it not good to keep the peel on?
It usually, if I get the organic ginger, then I do keep the peel on. But if I don't get it, and if I use the regular ginger, I kind of like, because of all the pesticides on it, so I kind of peel it and wash it. So it's completely up to you. I also, preferably, if I would not peel it, I'll use it with the peel. But just because if I don't get the organic one, then I do peel it.
Thank you.
Google, stop.
And so while our tomatoes are being cooked, I'll grind the roasted coriander seeds and the whole red chilies.
And all these recipes are there online with the page that that Sharad has shared with you guys. You just have to go on the page, click on the recipe name and the whole ingredient, how much to put, what to put, the procedure, everything is over there. So and follow that recipe.
Yeah, don't forget the tomatoes. Just stir it a bit and then kind of press those with the ladle so that it becomes nice and soft. And at this point, if you feel that it's sticking to the pan, so just feel free to add a few drops of water, like a couple of tablespoons of water to it, and continue cooking till it gets nice and mushy. So this is how the paste look like. I hope you guys can see it. Like, it's not a paste, sorry, the coarse ground red chilies and whole coriander.
So folks were cooking along with us. Are you guys doing okay? I missed the green chili is chopped or whole. For which dish, Karen? Are you talking about for the paneer? The Karhai paneer? You can unmute yourself and you can talk to us. Evelyn. I missed the green chili is chopped or whole. Yes. For the paneer is chopped.
For
And
the
for-
paneer, yeah, it's optional because we are adding the whole red chili. So if you like it hot and spicy, I would suggest chop it and then put it, because these days the green chilies we are getting are super hot. So, or you can just slit it and put it, or just put a hole so you get the flavor out of it. But I haven't added it yet to the paneer. It's just tomatoes and cumin and garlic, ginger, turmeric, and a little bit of red chili powder.
I've got one quick question.
Sure.
How long ago do you think we put in the fish? Because I forgot to push the start on the timer.
I beg your pardon. Did you say it again?
I forgot to push the timer to start.
Oh, 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be 20 minutes, but I started it already when you put it in the oven. How long do you think it's been?
Okay, just put it for another 10 minutes or 20 minutes, that should do.
Okay, you didn't start your timer then.
No, it usually takes 20 minutes. You know.
Did anybody else on the call start their timer? Did they put the fish in the oven?
Yeah, so I put it, so you can, put it for another 14 minutes.
14 minutes. Yeah. I'll put it down.
Somebody might put it in the chat.
Oh, 14 minutes.
So this thing, the tomatoes are done and they are nice and soft, and it has the masala or the gravy has left the oil on the side. So this is done. From here, it's pretty simple. So now I'll add the paneer to it. And the bell peppers, red and green, and the cubed onions, all at the same time, and the chili, green chili as well.
And then someone is asking how much red bell pepper and green bell pepper should I chop for the paneer?
For the paneer, for one block, I've used, like, if it's too big, I've used like half of it, and half of each red bell pepper and green bell pepper. And half of onion as well.
Okay.
Like for this Karhai paneer, you can use as less or as much of the peppers. That gives flavor to the paneer, but it should not overwhelm the paneer. Like it should be a little lesser than how much paneer or chicken you're using. Did you already use the ground spices, Kanan?
No, I haven't. I'll add it right now. I'll just mix this together, and now you add the ground spices to it, the coriander and the red chilies. And we didn't put salt as well. So we'll add little salt to it, little bit of it.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just wonder, for the green chili, can you use a jalapeno?
sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
chilies, you can use any kind of chilies of your choice.
I have one more question.
Sure.
Which is hotter, the red Thai chili or the green Thai chili?
You can use either
Any
one of them.
You
Hotter,
don't
which is
have-
hotter though? Are they both the same heat?
Usually, like nowadays, like when we buy our Thai chilies from the grocer, sometimes we find that the green one is hotter than the red one. And usually the red one is hotter than the green, but
Okay.
it depends on the quality of the chili, of the season and everything. But you can use either one of them. We start by just using one chili so that we can see and taste how much heat it has, because you don't want to overpower the dish with too much of heat. So because chili is something that you can always add a little later too.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
And yeah, so for this one, and now we just cover it and let it cook on a low medium heat for another maybe 10 minutes so that everything gets nicely, they all absorb the spices and the flavors. And once it's done, we are good to go. And this can be eaten with roti or naan or with rice as well, even the dal, a little bit of dal and the paneer and naan. It's wonderful.
And if you guys have any questions, you all can unmute yourself and ask us while we're waiting on the fish, the chicken, and the paneer to be ready to dish out. If you have any questions on Indian food, Indian cuisine, feel free to ask.
And if you see while this is cooking also, just stir it once in between. And if you see that it's sticking to the sides or anything, just again add some water to it. A couple of tablespoons would do the trick.
Chandini, are you able to tell us a bit more about the origins of this dish? Like how long has it been around? Who made it? Tell us a bit of the story behind it. I'm just curious. Thanks.
About all the dishes, about the dishes, like all the dishes, or just the fish?
Or just pick one. I know you have stuff cooking and everyone wants to eat, so I won't hold you up too long. Pick a dish and tell us a little bit of the story behind it. Thanks.
Sure. So, as you guys know, that India is a country which is so versatile, and every region has its own flavor. So let's take, for example, the Malai Tikka. Actually, the chicken Malai Tikka actually came from the Afghans. The barbecue chicken or the tandoori chicken, the concept of the tandoori chicken or the barbecue chicken came from the Afghans. And because in those days, what used to happen, like if you guys know about the Khyber Pass, where there was a big trade route between India and Afghanistan and all those Asian and Mediterranean countries. So through the route, it used to be what I've read about the barbecue chicken or the chicken Afghani chicken that came from that route. Simple, easy. You just marinate with your simple spices that you will carry. You will get the fresh chicken and you will put it in those fire pits and you will have your dinner. But there is an interesting story about how tandoori chicken was invented in India. There is a very famous place called Moti Mahal in Delhi, and the people who are familiar with Delhi would know. And the owner of that, the person who started it, this person started, I think, in the late 1870s or 1890s, sometime whereabout that time, and he actually invented the chicken tandoori. His tandoori became so famous that the first Prime Minister of India and these guys were always going to his restaurant and eating. So he invented the tandoori, so-called the tandoori chicken that we get in the restaurants nowadays. But I think the tandoori chicken is basically Punjabi dish, which comes from the state of Punjab, where Kanand is from. And
actually, it originated in Lahore.
Yeah, the part of Punjab during the pre-partition.
The pre-partition, it originated there, and then that is where the Moti Ram or
Moti Mahal, I'll tell you, I forget. Gujral. Last name is Gujral.
Gujral, yeah. So and that is where the butter chicken was also originated, because when they started making the tandoori chicken, they didn't know what to do with the leftover tandoori chicken. And there were no refrigerators or any means to keep them fresh for the next day. And there was no point throwing away the leftover chicken as well. So then he made a gravy with tomatoes and spices in it. And the next day he added the leftover tandoori chicken to the gravy, and thus the
Became the
famous
butter chicken
was
that we
born.
eat all over the world. The famous
Yeah.
butter chicken was invented like that.
And then the chicken tikka masala became popular because of the Britishers, because they didn't like the bones in it. So then they started making tandoori chicken with the boneless chicken, and then it was added to the gravy, and then it became the chicken tikka masala.
So chicken tikka masala is actually not an Indian dish, but it is actually an English dish,
Yes.
because chicken tikka masala originated in England, not in India.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting how food travels around the world.
Yes. And the same way, it's very surprising, although paneer is a very, very popular dish among vegetarians and non-vegetarians in India, but it also, it came from Persia as well. They have something called paneer. And before they came to India, we didn't make paneer because milk was so sacred that nobody would think of, curdling it and doing things with it. So paneer came with the Persians when they came to India. And now it's one of the most famous dishes all over India, I guess. If not Punjab definitely, for sure. North India, yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
For your Malai chicken or Malai paneer, and you put the entire tray into the oven, preheated oven. So can we use skewers like for like seek kebab type of thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can do that too, yeah.
Yes, for sure. Go ahead. You can do that as well. And that will be like, so when we put with everything in a pan, or then there are some juices left in the pan, but when you put it in the skewers, it will be dry. It will be drier than the one you make it in the, so that will be a perfect starter. And you can serve it with the drinks and finger food with the drinks and all that as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How are you guys doing, guys? Because we can't see you guys, but how are you guys doing? Are you guys in control, or do you guys have any more questions?
Yeah, and if whosoever is cooking along with us, they can just turn on their cameras and show us how they're doing.
We are eating our fish, or our fish now, and it's yummy.
Okay, thanks. Great.
Awesome.
We are glad you like it. It's an unusual flavor.
Really, really good.
I think
Thank
better.
you. Thank you.
I don't know.
Taste it. I was trying to get the participant view.
Yes. Okay, my fish is also done. I'm going to take out my fish and I'm going to start plating it. You can see. Now I'm going to show, this is the thing about cooking online. This is bubbling. I don't know whether you guys can see it. I never overcook my fish because I like it flaky and juicy. So 20 minutes, it all takes for a basa to cook. Now I'm going to plate it. I take my platter. And this fish goes best with white rice. white basmati rice or white long grain rice, whichever rice that you guys.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. This is how my mother used to plate. When someone when we had guests over, they would put the basmati rice in a bowl, and that would take the shape of the bowl and look very nice. Again, when you're dishing it. So here it is. We have looks nice and clean and round. Now we're going to get the fish fried. And while the fish is hot, I'm just going to garnish it with the cilantro. That will give added flavor. But if you don't like cilantro, you can, it's optional. I like cilantro, so I put cilantro in. Here it is.
I see.
The fish. And here's the and here it is. The shoshi butter mat with your rice. Let me taste it. Smells divine. Good. Good. Right. Bon appetit. That's really good. Any more questions? You guys are free to ask. Anything that you guys want to know? You want to know about any other food, any questions about Indian cuisine, anything?
And there you go, guys. The chicken is also ready. You can see it.
Nice.
Oh, it looks so yummy. Look at all that wonderful food. All of our wonderful participants, if you're okay with doing a screenshot, so we're hoping to share on social media and post on our website. Don't be shy. Put your camera on, talk to us. Don't be strangers. We're all friends on the call.
We were actually wondering.
Please put your video on, unmute us. Our very excellent executive assistant, Michael Masonville, would like to take a screenshot so we can share more widely. So I'll give you all a minute to do that. If you're shy, I understand. We'll help you get over that. I'm sorry, someone had a question.
Oh, it was Kathy. I was just going to say, we were wondering if you guys have a good chicken jalfrezi recipe.
We do.
Yes.
We do.
So we've got that at restaurants before, and it's really good.
Okay. You know what? You guys share your email address with us, and we'll send you the recipe.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
That's
And
awesome.
so our paneer is also ready, so I can plate that as well.
Those are-
So please do not forget to give us some feedback. Feel free to email.
Yes, and especially to us, because this is our first time online cooking. We have not done it before because we usually do hands-on cooking lessons, which is, is more practical than the video. So if you guys are interested in learning different kinds of Indian cuisine, which are a little bit more complicated, we will start our cooking classes as soon as we start the whole COVID thing goes. Hopefully by next year, and I don't see it happening this year, maybe end of this year once everybody is vaccinated. But once we can do a face-to-face cooking class, we'll be hosting a lot of cooking classes.
Chandni, judging from the reaction for the crowd, we might need to make you a monthly feature. I don't know.
That would be wonderful. We would love
That'd
to
be
do
great.
We're all getting bored of eating the same stuff over and over, so.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I mean, we're all stir crazy being locked down in this pandemic.
I know. I
This was-
hear you.
Really, this was absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for having us and giving us the opportunity to showcase a little bit of what we do. Because it was lovely sharing our food, our simple food with all of you guys. Because we're very proud of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked the taste of it. The flavors of it. If you have any questions, just shoot us an email or just
Thank
ask
you,
us
Tim.
anything.
Paneer is ready as well.
Thank you. You take care.
This is really quite wonderful. Thank you so much for leading us through a spice symphony, literally. Folks, please give us feedback. If you love this event and you want us to do this again with a different menu, email us at aldam@rogers.com. Let us know how much you loved it. Or better still, tweet about us on Twitter and tag us and tell us how awesome we were. And
And also tag us too, the Spice Symphony, and our email is spicesymphony2019@yahoo.com. So you
yes,
can
not to forget to tag Spice Symphony on Twitter and Facebook and what have you.
Yeah, we are on Facebook
and Instagram.
and Instagram.
That'd be great. Yeah.
One last plea that I have for all of you, and of course I have to put on my hat as the president of the London District Academy of Medicine, is we are looking at doing a patient healthcare forum and having an expert in infectious diseases speak about the AstraZeneca vaccine and the importance to our patients of getting vaccinated. If you have, any of you on this call, had patients who have experienced COVID-19, or perhaps they are experiencing long-term sequelae of COVID infection, please encourage your patients to contact us. We're trying to get a patient panel together to speak about the importance of getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Who better than the patients who've actually experienced the sequelae themselves? So thank you all for joining us on this wonderful evening. Please help us, help the public get better protected against COVID. Get your patients who've experienced COVID to contact us. And if you love this evening, and we hope you did, contact the Academy and tell us we need to do this again. And share with your colleagues that we need to do this again. Because there's no better promo than word of mouth. So Michael.
Can I add one thing, Shara? Sorry. And if you guys like this, you guys can go online to our website, spicesymphony.org. We do have a carryout. We do catering also. And we'll be starting our Spice Symphony carryout in the next 1 month because of COVID. We are locked down right now. Please come and visit us.
Where are you located?
We are located in Sunningdale and Richmond. So we do it from our home, from my residence. So every Mondays and Fridays, and we do different regional cooking of India. It's not south, north, west, east, all kind of different flavors that you don't get in restaurants.
Nice.
And I'm going to give a shout out to my spouse, Dr. Rashmi Pala, who's been working in the kitchen.
Hey, Rashmi.
She's my own
It's good to see you.
she's my own bona fide chef, and I didn't need to worry about anything. I could just put my feet up and let her cook, and I've been enjoying the cuisine as we've been cooking. So
That's my chef.
I see, Kathy. Thank you for sharing.
So I have to say,
I supervise.
you have Your twist of spices is a little different than what I normally use. And I have to say, my kids are loving it. They're loving the Malai paneer. We did it with paneer. And I also did the Malai chicken. So I did 2 of them. One with the chicken. So same marinade, exactly the same with the chicken, and then one with the paneer. And the kids are loving it. They're like, can you make this all the time?
We're so glad. Good. Yeah, we're glad.
This is my daughter saying it's really, really good.
Aww.
We're so glad. Thank you.
Yeah, so
You can come and say
so
hello.
hopefully you guys all enjoyed the evening as much as I did. Don't be strangers, contact the Academy. And for our next event, the Patient Healthcare Forum, as I said before, if you've got COVID-19 patients and they're willing to participate, please send them our way. We're trying to populate the panel, which is difficult in the middle of a lockdown, and trying to get the word out is tough. So we're needing your help on this, okay? So thank you to all of you.
Can you
What was
send an
that?
email, Sharad, to remind us? An
What was
email?
Send an email.
Yeah, I will, Michael, hopefully you got that. So let's send out a reminder email to everyone to, encourage their patients to participate. And thank you all for the call. And most importantly, thank you to Spice Symphony for an absolute.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And if you guys want more, you need to let us know. It's all
happy
about.
to do this again.
We're happy to do this again. Really enjoyed it. Thank you to both of
Thank you.
Kanan and
Thank you.
Thank
Tanya.
you.
Thank you both.
Bye. Take care.
You're
Bon
welcome. Bye.
appetit.
Bon
Bye bye.
appetit. Enjoy.
Bye. Enjoy.